going on, guys? It's Ed for me, and today we're going to be talking all about the DSG tune. So, for those of you guys who saw my last video on going stage 2, I know it's a very popular video and I've gotten over 80,000 views on it in a matter of less than a month. So, for sure, one of my more popular videos. Thank you guys for your support in watching that and sharing that with other people. I know a lot of the criticism was that I was talking a lot and that I was talking a lot about the drone and just how the car was good as a daily driver, as well as a good for all-out performance. But for those of you guys who did watch the video and did enjoy it, I appreciate it. I just wanted to share my experience on going stage 2. So for those of you guys who stayed till the end of the video and guessed properly, yes, I did get a DSG tune. I got it even before I turned my car to stage 2 in anticipation for the extra torque that the car would have. So just kind of as an update, stage 2 has been going well so far. A couple of things that I've had to change was, first, for one thing, I had to take out the Block's O2 sensor spacer. I'll talk more about that in a separate video, but basically I was getting a check engine light from that, from the sensor spacer, not because it was sensing an issue with the catalytic converter, but rather something with the O2 being stuck lean. So I'll talk more about that in a separate video. For this video, I want to focus on the DSG tune, where I got it, what I expected from it, and just in general a review of whether or not I think the DSG tune is worth it for your car. So let me start off by saying that I got the DSG tune through Eurodyne. Because I am on Eurodyne stage 2 right now, I decided to just get Eurodyne DSG tune as well. It retails for $375, which is what I paid for it. Whereas if you were to buy the DSG tune separately without the ECU tune, you would be looking at, I believe, about $500. So for those of you who have been following my channel, I think a lot of you guys have heard me ask you guys about the DSG tune, what I can expect from it, and for me, basically the reason why I went with the DSG tune was so that the shift map would be better. Now, one of my major complaints with the car and the DSG transmission is that when you're in regular drive mode, when you're slowing down and just kind of have your foot planted on the brakes and the car slowing down, it brings the revs way too low, and what ends up happening is that it doesn't really downshift and bring the revs up. It just kind of jerks you forward, and it gives you this kind of jerky stopping motion, which is very noticeable. So I was hoping that with the DSG tune, the shift points would be raised, because I did notice that this car in sport mode, when you are slowing down, it'll actually downshift and blip the throttle. Whereas in drive mode, it didn't do that. So I figured, hey, with the DSG tune, maybe the shift points will be a little bit higher than they were before, thus allowing the car to actually blip the throttle on downshifts and not give that jerky feeling. Now, in that aspect, this DSG tune did not solve that problem. I still have this issue and it has not been resolved. However, I did reach out to Chris over at Eurodyne. I asked him if there was something that could be done about the shift points in order to keep this jerky DSG transmission thing from happening. And basically the response that I got from him was that these shift points are optimized in a way that they thought would be best for the most customers in terms of fuel economy and in terms of what just the general consensus would like. So there was no way for me to actually customize this shift map in order to allow, in drive mode at least, the revs to be kept a little bit higher. He did reassure me, however, that I bought this DSG tune not only for the better shift maps, but also for the other features. For example, true manual mode is one of them. Another thing that it also does is it increases the clamping pressures so that theoretically your clutch will be able to hold a little bit more torque. And the most concrete thing that I can think of that this DSG tune will do for you is that in drive mode you'll be able to see exactly what gear you're in. So as expected for me, when I got this DSG tune, I expected it to solve the issues I was having with this jerky downshift thing. And the fact that it didn't kind of left me wanting more. And I asked, Chris at Eurodyne if there was any avenue for like buyer's remorse for this DSG tune, and he said that the only way that would be possible was if I had gotten the DSG tune through a dealer, in which case they would be able to do like a trial. So for those of you guys who are interested in seeing if the DSG tune is right for you, you can go find a dealer in your area who would be able to give you a trial of the Eurodyne DSG software. For the rest of us who don't want to go to dealers, it's either something that you're going to buy and keep, or buy and then just switch back to stock, in which case I still don't think that stock is better than the DSG tune. So overall, I do believe that this DSG tune is worth it. There are a lot of things that it does in the background that you might not necessarily see right away. One of the things you might not necessarily notice is the decreased shift times, because even stock, it goes pretty quickly. And so with the DSG tune, it is quicker, but you're probably not gonna really notice it. I can say that really the only thing you're gonna notice on a day-to-day driving is that it'll lug the car a little bit less, so the shift points are increased ever so slightly. And that's something that you may be able to notice. For most of you guys, you probably wouldn't notice it though. The really only concrete thing, like I said before, that you would be able to see is just having it in drive mode and being able to see exactly what gear you're in. One more thing that I find really helpful that the DSG tune provides is true manual mode. So when the wintertime comes around and there's snow on the ground, it'll be nice to be able to hold gears first, second, third, and not have it automatically upshift. The DSG transmission will still automatically downshift. I don't believe true manual mode really allows you to keep it in second, third, or fourth gear. It just simply overrides it, but it will allow you to hold it at a high RPM without it going to the next gear, which is probably something that the car should have came with to start with, but definitely is a welcome addition with the DSG tune. One of the features I believe that the DSG tune offers is a better launch control. So in a little bit, I'm going to show that to you guys, but I'm also going to take the time to talk about another thing that happened recently after I do the launch control. So I'm just going to pull off to the side here, wait for the traffic to clear up, and then I'll do like a 0 to 60 with launch control. So we're just going to put this into race mode, and then we're also going to put the ESC Sport and left foot on the brake, right foot, oh, that didn't feel good. So left foot firmly planted. All right, so let me just give you my first impressions of, oh, give me a second there. Launch control in this car is honestly very brutal right now, and I don't want to sound like a wuss, in which case to most of you guys I probably will, but the amount of G-force that the car puts on you when you're in launch control kind of gets you in this sort of daze. And so give me a second just to recover for that, and let me gather my thoughts. So let me just kind of recap. I'm not sure how much wheel spin there was when I did that, but I think there was some wheel spin. It certainly didn't chirp as much as it did when it was on stage 1.5 with the all-season tires. So I'm not sure. I'll have to review the footage and kind of see what was going on there. Stage 2, that was the first time I did launch control with it, and it is most certainly quicker than stage 1.5. The stage 1.5 to stock was a really big difference, and I would say that this was a pretty big difference as well. So how much the DSG tune actually contributed to that, I'm not 100% sure, and there's really no way I can do it other than taking off the DSG tune, putting it back on, and just kind of doing before and afters, which would honestly just be a lot of work for personally not a lot of information that I care too much about. So ever since getting the DSG tune, I have actually had an issue. The issue that I had was I was driving home, actually coming up here on Nichols, and I planted my foot down just in drive, and then the EPC light came on. So this was the second time that the EPC light has come on since I've owned this car. The first time was just on a stage 1.5 tune, and I was doing this review with the WRX STI. So I was doing back-to-back pulls, and the EPC light came on. That what happens is the car kind of cuts power, and you have to stop off to the side. You turn off your car, give it a second, and you turn it back on, and everything seems normal. Last time that happened, I put the OBD2 reader on it, and there were no codes, so I couldn't really, I really didn't think much about it. But since getting a DSG tune as well as stage 2, so here's kind of the issue I have, is not really knowing whether DSG tune's related to this or the stage 2 tune. I'm guessing it's the stage 2 tune, but I just want to be honest and open with you guys. But basically, the EPC light came on, and then when I pulled off to the side, I put on the OBD2 reader, and this time codes actually came up. The codes that came up were misfires in cylinders 1, 2, and 4. So I cleared that. Ever since then, I haven't had this problem. But certainly when you start going to stage 2 and you start doing more mods than I believe just the ECU tune on stage 1, you're going to start to have quote-unquote reliability issues. Now, like I said, I do not know if that's related to the DSG tune or not, but it's something that I want to share with you guys. Overall, I would say that if you are going stage 2, you should probably get a DSG tune, simply for the increased clamp pressures, for which you'll be allowed to have higher torque numbers. I haven't had any clutch slip, which is something that I know some people on stage 2 have had problems with because they didn't get a DSG tune. And the DSG tune also is not going to fix a common issue that has occurred for some people where they have low transmission fluid levels. This is something that is very sporadic and has happened to some VW owners who own the Golf R. But the DSG tune is not going to solve that issue. What it will solve is a couple of chances where you might have clutch slip otherwise, but the increased clamping pressure will keep that from happening. So overall, I'm not sure whether or not the DSG tune would shorten the life of your clutch, or in this case actually lengthen it, but I'm certainly happy that I got the DSG tune along with stage 2 instead of just going stage 2 and waiting for even more issues to show up. So that's basically it for today's video. The DSG tune is something you should get if you're kind of hesitant about it, like I was. Perhaps think about going to a dealer to get a trial run to see if you think it's worth it. For me, because I got it for myself, I will be keeping it, and definitely I will be giving you guys any updates for any further issues that will be happening to this car, any check engine lights or EPC lights that do come up. Other than that, like I said, I will make a separate video about the check engine lights that I've gotten with the Blox O2 sensor spacer, and I'll also talk about some emissions related things that I know some questions have come up in previous videos that I've posted. If you guys have any questions, please be sure to leave it in the comments below. Please subscribe if you're interested in my channel, and please like this video if you like it, dislike it if you do. What a beautiful GT3 right there. What a good way to end this video. I'll see you guys next time.